This episode of Profiles in Risk is brought to you by InsurTech Connect Las Vegas. The legendary ITC is coming back to Vegas October 14 to 16 at the Mandalay Bay Casino. ITC is the largest InsurTech conference in the world by a long shot and the absolute cannot miss event of the year. We never miss it, neither should you. Register today using our discount code INSNerd200. Again, that's INSNerd200 and see you in Vegas, baby. And when you're there, look for me. I'm the guy with the red top hat and ask me for a magic trick. Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your overly caffeinated host, but I slept very well last night. Normally I say sleep deprived and overly caffeinated host. This is the third episode I'm recording from Costa Rica. I'm visiting my mom for her 65th birthday. I grew up down here. So I'm enjoying absolutely ridiculously awesome Costa Rican coffee. Actually, not far from where it grows. And today I have with me Alicia Burke, Director of Product. Alicia Burke, Director of Portfolio and Product Development at the CAS Institute. So, first of all, Alicia, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
You're welcome. It's going well. Thanks so much for having me. I'm very jealous to hear that you are in Costa Rica right now. I'm not. It's far less exciting. I'm in a little suburb of Philadelphia, so still.
Costa Rica, what you're visualizing is tropical paradise on earth, beautiful mountains, beautiful beaches. All of those are very beautiful. The reality of my childhood in Costa Rica and the reality of me visiting my family is the city. And the house is very nice, but outside, what you have is a massive, messy city with bad traffic, bad crime, bad traffic, and halfway bad crime. And my first advice to Americans who visit Costa Rica is don't spend any time in the city. Unfortunately, this is where the family is from. I did get to go spend the weekend at my cousin Paula's. My cousin grew up here in the city with me, but she has since decamped to the area around the Arenal volcano, which is she lives right in the middle of the mountain, just beautiful area, all green. And that was a beautiful visit. And I don't think this time I'll be able to sneak a trip to the beach. But yeah, the city is just not a great city. So Philly is a significantly better city.
Okay.
So Philly, July 22nd. We happen to be recording on my mom's 65th today. So we're heading out to dinner in a little bit, later tonight for that. And so we're recording July 22nd in Philly. I'm guessing it's actually quite nice. Like, I don't think Philly has bad summers.
I mean, it depends. Today is an okay day, not too hot.
Okay.
We had some days last week where events were getting canceled. It was like so overwhelmingly hot outside.
Wow.
But it's better this week.
All right. All right. So normally I ask the guests to give the elevator pitch because the majority of guests are InsurTech founders. But today, for the listeners, a little bit of a different episode. So I have done a lot of talking over the years, both on the podcast and in my book and in my YouTube channel. And whenever I show up in somebody else's podcast about designations and how they've been amazing for my career. And I'm a CPCU guy. Grew up in the institutes and the CPCU Society. My 10 designations made a huge difference in my career. And I talk a lot about those, about the alphabet soup of the institute's world. And then I've had some involvement with CAS. So for the listeners who live in the underwriting or the claims or the or the sales side of insurance, CAS is the organization that handles credentialing actuaries for the casualty side, right? So there's CAS on the casualty side and the life side SOA. Right, I have to think about that because I'm a PNC side guy, right? So CAS does the ACAS credential, which is the accredited actuary, and they do the FCAS credential, which is the fellow actuary. And I've spent some time at CAS conferences for my recruiting business. But I had never heard of ICAS, and that's what we're chatting about today. So Alicia,
Sure.
what is ICAS?
Okay, ICAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of the CAS. So came about around 2016, and it has the goal of focusing on those topics that are actuarial adjacent, as well as maybe some specialty areas that would be of interest to actuaries and others in P&C roles. And there are some credentials, so we can definitely chat about those. We also, in recent years, started to function as an innovation lab for the CAS. So we experiment with potential new offerings. Some of those we keep as part of the ICAS portfolio, and some of those will then be turned over to the CAS. So there are some recent changes to the ACAS pathway, including predictive analytics, and those were things that were designed by ICAS and now are
Fantastic.
over on the CAS side.
Okay, so predictive analytics, for example, was designed at ICAS and then ended up becoming part of the core credential.
Yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there is some joint involvement with the institutes. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, there's a couple of our credentials on the ICAS side. We collaborated with the institutes to create aspects of them. So the parts of the program that involve some courses and some exams were collaboration with the institutes where they provided instructional designers and we provided subject matter experts in the content, and working together, that's how the course content was designed and some of those assessments.
Okay.
So we still work together if we need to make any adjustments to the courses, et cetera.
Perfect, perfect. So the core of my audience is insurance professionals who are not actuaries, right? So
Okay.
so so
Yeah.
for the underwriters, the claims adjusters, especially the underwriters, I'm guessing, the product people, uh, which of the ICAS designations are kind of popular outside of the actuarial world?
Hmm. I We have a couple. One is the CSPA, so that's Certified Specialist in Predictive Analytics. So we do have, some people who are actuaries pursue that, but others more on the data science, those who are doing some modeling. We do have some products people. So that's really all the data side of the house.
Mhm.
And if now's the right time, I can talk a little bit about what that program
Well,
entails.
absolutely, and
Yeah.
I'm especially curious. So the institutes has the very popular AIDA, the Associated in Insurance Data Analytics. I don't have it. My girlfriend has it, and a few friends have it, and they've described it as very good, but not very hands-on. It's more of
Mm,
like understanding the different things you
okay.
can do with data analytics. So I'm very
Gotcha.
curious: is CSPA more hands-on?
Yes, yes, it's quite hands-on. So
Fantastic.
the first two courses are more background information. There's one
Mhm.
on property and casualty fundamentals. There's one on like data management and visualization. But then the next half of the program is very hands-on. So there's one on modeling tools and techniques where the assessment is actually a proctored exam where you're like on another desktop, you're like running code, you're running software, so it's very much hands-on. And then the final stage of the program is a project where you're given a business problem and several data sets, and you have 2 months to solve the problem, build a model, create a report where you're basically, answering the business problems like with your recommendation, all very real world examples. So that part is super hands-on. And I think the coolest part about it is it's not like you just turn something in and pass or fail. You can actually request a mentor at any point who will work with you. And if you don't quite make it perfect on your first submission, the panel will actually give you feedback and another 30 days to resubmit. So it's this, whole process of learning and getting feedback and really being able to grow and work on your
That
product.
that is so exciting, truly so exciting. Um, my I learned early in my insurance career that my brain doesn't work that way. Turns out I can't do math. I'm a great recruiter and I was a great underwriter, but I stick to basic math. Um, however, the industry is most definitely from the perspective of a recruiter who specializes in this industry, and I also do career advice. I also do chat with Tony.com, which is free career advice for insurance professionals. I am very often pointing people towards invest in your analytic skills. And this is exactly the kind of thing. So yes, I'm so glad that this exists because I did not know which way to point them. I knew to say, get your idea, that'll give you a good idea of the tools and how can they be used, how they can be used for insurance purposes, for predictive analytics. But how do you actually learn to do the stuff,
Mhm.
right? So this is fantastic. Okay, so this has existed since 2016.
This product came out, I think, 2017, so a little bit after ICAS was founded, but yes, it's been around a while.
Fantastic. All right. And you said it's popular both with non-actuaries and with actuaries who want more hands-on in data analytics.
Yes. Yeah, a bit of
Okay.
both. And some people who are in sort of a hybrid role where they're maybe managing a team of data scientists and they're kind of that bridge between
Okay.
the data scientists and the actuaries. Um, so yeah, a lot of different backgrounds of the people who are involved, but gotten definitely great testimonials about the learning aspect of it.
So how long does it take to get your CSPA?
It takes most people 1 to 2 years, depending how they time it. So the first two courses and exams are self-paced. You can kind of take them as you want. But then the part three, where you're in the simulation, and part four for the project, those are only offered 2 times per year. So we do announce at the beginning of the year like what the dates are. People can plan ahead, but just kind of depends how quickly they want to schedule all of them.
Fantastic. I love the design of it, how the hands-on piece, the project piece, and then awesome that there is a chance to
Yeah.
take the feedback into account and fix it. So that sounds to me like a designation. I don't know if you guys call it a designation, but like a certification, that a credential that is designed to be friendly. And let me kind of define that, right? So CPCU exams, in my opinion, are friendly. They're not easy. They're friendly. The tools that exist to prepare for them are very, very good tools. And if you dedicate yourself, you'll get through it. That's the opposite from, for example, CFA, where you buy the books on April 15th of the year, and then most people never actually make it to the test. And like the percentage of people who actually finish CFA compared to the percentage that started is teeny. It's almost designed to be hard to get through, right? While CPCU, the material is not easy, the amount of material is large, but the study methods and the tests are designed to push you through. So so I would refer to that as more friendly. So it sounds like a friendly way to get a certification. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely about the learning, not just like you failed, go away. We want you to learn and and get better.
Okay.
Um, and I think at
Mhm.
least from, talking to the panel who grades the projects and hearing all their perspectives, it sounds like it's not like it's this black and white thing. Like there's just one way to build a good model and that's it. Like there's so many different perspectives, different companies want something different. So I think it's also very helpful that you're getting feedback from a whole panel and you kind of understand, like, don't just assume you did it this way. Now every job you go to is going to want the exact same thing.
Fantastic. All right. So what about CSCR and CCRMP?
So those are for catastrophe risk professionals. And for both of those, ICAS works with ISCM. They're another association who's just focused on catastrophe risk management. the institutes does also administer the exams and help to build those courses. So these are for the CAT risk professionals. One's basically a practical level, and then one's for that senior, more expert level. That one does not have a project at this point. The CSTR is based on examinations, and then CCRMP right now is based on an application process where a panel's reviewing extensive experience requirements and making sure that those are met. I think one day there will be exams, but they're not in place yet for the CCRMP.
All right, all right. Okay. So those sound like for any listener that finds themselves in a CAT modeler type of role or are interested in a CAT model type of role,
Yeah.
kind of the roles that can grow out of a CAT model type of role, reinsurance, that type of thing, those would be really, really good.
Yes.
But by the way, what is the cost for CSPA and those two?
They vary. So for the CSPA, there's 4 components. Each of them is $850. And there are, like, depending on your background, you may get waivers and like maybe you don't have to take P&C fundamentals, for example, if you have, other designations. So that 850 would be if you take, each of the 4. The CCRMP, I actually have to
No
pull
worries.
up the latest pricing
By the way,
here.
for the
I don't
listeners,
want to
we're recording
misquote
this
it.
mid 2025. Prices do change over time.
Yes, let me just double check.
And CSPA, 4 components, 850 each. So 4 times 850, the whole thing at retail price. Like if you have to do the whole thing, $3,400 for the
Mhm.
listeners, you will easily cover that with your tuition reimbursement. In fact, you could do the whole thing in a year. Tuition reimbursement wise, you'd be fine. Most carriers will give you 5250, and if it's directly insurance related, it's easy to get the approval, and they might give you a little more if it's directly insurance related. So yeah, that is well priced.
I'm pulling up those other price. Sorry, my link here is sending me to another place.
Perfectly fine.
I
You,
will get it.
you can always
I will
send it to
get
me. We'll include it in the show notes. That's absolutely no problem. Uh,
Okay.
perfect. So, okay. Okay, so these credentials from the CAS Institute, I'm just looking at the ICAS website, are specialized, uh, standardized, and they bring value. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. So is it just those designations that are ICAS, or are there others that are?
Uh, those are the full credentials that we have, but we do have other offerings. We have a certificate program for the AI Fast Track, which is something that came out last fall. And
So
this is more of a, I'm
huh?
sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't.
Tell me about that. It's a hot topic.
Yeah,
Definitely tell me about that.
yeah. So this was based on just talking to our members and stakeholders, like what were they thinking about AI, about 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And the consensus really was like they know this is a big thing. Everyone's talking about it, seems important. I'm not sure how to find time to learn what I need to learn, and I feel like I might be getting left behind. So there's a little bit of concern. Um, but we had, the philosophy that people in the actuarial science, industry actually have like a lot that puts them ahead of the general population in that topic.
Yep.
So we just wanted to like show them like, you already know a lot and here's just a little bit more and you're like ready to have a seat at the table making these decisions or being part of these conversations. So we quickly put together AI Fast Track. We partnered with some friends at Accurate on that to help with the content. And yeah, it went really well. We've had 3 cohorts go through where there's 5 live sessions, 90 minutes long over the course of a few weeks. And we also have a discussion board where we're giving them like prompts that, every week, weigh in on this topic. So people are kind of sharing how they're using things, what they're thinking of. And then the discussion board stays open for 5 years because we know like this topic keeps evolving. We didn't want to just like leave. So we had three cohorts. The last one just finished earlier this month. And now I am working to build an on-demand version because we have all this great content from the recording. So we're trying to put together a format that maybe works for people who can't come to the live
Perfect.
sessions.
And that is meant for actuaries, if I understood.
Actually, no. So actuaries are there, but we've had, consultants, product managers, underwriters, and it's really for anyone PNC oriented. So we do use PNC examples, but it's not for any one particular role. And we've even had some like non-technical people, maybe like team managers, they're able to participate as well. And we usually, at least for the live cohort, just had like some optional assignments for the people who wanted to do more coding and stuff, but others who don't have that background could still proceed and get their certificate if they completed.
Okay,
And they were still getting a lot.
so it would
Yeah.
be fair to say that this is a great way for insurance professionals to in a structured way get their head around AI and where it might be going in the
Yeah.
insurance industry.
Hmm. Yeah.
Fantastic. So people, you have two options. You can listen to the last 200 episodes of my podcast, most of which are interviews with AI founders trying to sell you something, or you can take 5 90-minute sessions and get a good idea of how AI will affect insurance. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, all right. What's the other certificate?
We also, through partnership with the institutes, have a course. It's only about 3 hours, but self-paced on data bias. So that's another one available through their website as well as ours.
All right.
But that's one that was a total collaboration between their designers and some of the ICAS volunteers who provided content.
Fantastic. I love that there's a collaboration between the institutes and CAS. The more that the two sides of profitably underwriting talk to each other, the better. The more that the underwriters understand the actuaries and the actuaries understand the underwriters, that's good for the industry. So that partnership is fantastic, and I love that new designations are being created.
Yeah.
The world is changing fast. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Um,
I guess the other thing we have, it's not a designation, but it is an event that we do every year, usually in the springtime. It's the ICAS Data Science and Analytics Forum, and we have it in person. It moves every year, but we also do a live virtual component too. So those who don't want to travel can still participate. A full day of content. We're putting together, program for next year. So that's really based on surveys and getting input from people. So if anybody wants particular, training, let us know. We'll make sure it, gets in the program.
where is it next spring?
I don't think it's been announced
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
So
And
not
how many people does it attract?
in person, 20 to 30.
Okay, so it's a very
Yeah, it's
very
more intimate.
okay.
But then online we can of course take, more
Yeah.
about double that.
And I'm guessing it's very much active actuaries and data scientists. Uh,
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, all right, very cool stuff, Alicia. Thank you so much for your time today. Uh,
Sure.
for the listeners, if you made it this deep into the conversation, uh, in our industry, you will never regret having more domain knowledge. If you need to understand how the policy works, CPCU. If you, I mean, if you're in the actuarial path, you already know the CAS side, right? It's very well documented. And if you are in the weird situation that many of us are, where maybe you've got your CPCU, you need more hands-on with the data science side, which is becoming so big. and I mean, take it from the recruiter. Like this is hot. This is a very valuable skill set to add, whether you're claims, whether you're underwriting, any side of the industry, really. If your product, oh my God, absolutely. But basically, data science and how to work with the outputs of data science it is a skill set that will only be more valuable. Don't take it from me. The research from PwC, the exponential underwriter, I think it was called, talked a lot about this. Basically, all the research I've seen on the future of insurance talent needs, the skill set needed is moving away from my skill set towards more of an analytical skill set. Uh, and this is a so yeah, those programs sound absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. And I can also, I'll send you the CSCR pricing.
Perfect.
It's depending what study material options you want. There's all
We'll,
different
we'll include
ones.
the link on the show notes for the listeners when this goes live. This
Perfect.
it is I will include the link to thank you. I will include I will tag Alicia's LinkedIn on it. I will include the page for ICAS, and I will include the link for the pricing for that one that's a little more tricky. Uh,
Perfect.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And I did want to add, like, we are, not for profit, so I'm always just here to serve the community. So if anyone listening does want to connect with me on LinkedIn because you have a challenge that you're hoping we can help you solve, like, I would love to hear from you. We're here for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.